items are there, so you can wait for this to happen. So all in all, it's not about Gen Y. It's not about children being born, handed their first baby's laptop, and having them be different. The world has changed, so we need to adapt. Because kids are still kids. I did a survey under 550 primary school kids earlier this year, and if you ask them what they like doing best, it's playing outside. And what do they like second best? Playing on the computer. It's their fifth activity, because their parents have usually rules around computer use. Like when I grew up, there were rules around TV watching, and the parents these days don't care about that anymore, it seems, from the survey. But there's rules around computer use, but it's their second best activity. That's how they rate it. So they like to play in whichever context that is. So the real change needs to be us. These kids are already adapting, and we need to speed up our adaptation process. And we have to get in there and expose ourselves and immerse ourselves. So it's about us, not about these kids, not about Gen Y. And I've been working with a group of teachers at Rotterdam University. They started out to change their teaching modules to fit the profile of Gen Y students, even though they didn't know what that was. But they wanted to adapt their teaching modules. As it turned out, they started changing themselves. And here are a couple of quotes that they sort of shared in the online platform that we use between face-to-face sessions. One asked, is this fooling around actually part of learning? This is a teacher discovering again what it means to be a kid. It's already 2 a.m. I forgot about time again. This is a teacher that's so involved, comes into a flow, and then looks at the watch. Wow, whole night is gone. Others were getting a kick out of stepping out of their comfort zone, going into situations where it wasn't predictable, where they weren't the king of the classroom, but they went out and they were surprised by the results, or were amazed by what happened when they let go of all their assumptions and rules and started experimenting freely to see what worked and what didn't and what they could use. Others had rediscovered the fun in learning, and there was a session on the program where the title was how do we cater to the needs of the Gen Y student or something? How do we engage them? And so I thought that sort of implies that we knew how to do that 20 years ago. We didn't. Students are bored, kids are bored at school, but we were too. We were bored out of our skulls, but the only thing that changed is that we didn't dare say to the teacher that we thought he was boring, and the kids now do. That's the only difference, but we were bored as well. So, and finding out that you can actually enjoy learning, I once met a teacher who said, learning has to hurt. That's bullshit. It really is. Learning may be hard, but it has to be fun, because if it hurts, the only thing you learn is to stop learning, because you avoid hurt. They also said, I'm very glad that we're in this together, which figures if you're on a glacier, but this is an important aspect, because this is being connected to others again. You're not the only one going through this change, and the only way you can do it is being in it together. And then after a while, you discover that you've become part of Gen Y yourself, and it sort of falls into place how you can apply the different things that you discovered in how you teach the kids. So those are a couple of stories, and the slides are online on slideshare.net, and then my name. You can download them there. Those are the stories and a couple of pictures that I took last summer, so you have seen my summer holiday slideshow as well. And I'll leave you with the advice, just jump in, immerse yourself, and become part of Gen Y, because it's not about Gen Y. We're in it all together, and we have to adapt to the changes that we created ourselves. We created these infrastructures, not the kids. We did, so we have to live with the consequences as well. Thank you for your time.